Alrighty, before the update goes live, want to do a quick overview of my boy, Deadpool X-Force. Alright, let's talk about his abilities. That's it. uh, Regular passive we all know about. When just below 30% health, he'll gain about 2 bars of power. This does not work if you heal back, then go back down 30% per fight. The Special 3 inflict a rather strong bleed. They inflict about the same amount of damage. They're scaled differently because one lasts longer than the other. Now, the signature ability is the one that I love about him the most, that I got a lot of uses out of. I want to clarify that it says all attacks. This is actually the first medium, the second light, and the last medium. I don't know why it's that way. These bleeds do not stack. They're very weak, but the utility of these bleeds is what I greatly enjoy. Currently, I run the full damage mastery. He has been ranked 3 for a while now, out of pure fun. The champ itself sucks. There's no other redeeming qualities about him. He has one good synergy. That's the Nick Fury healing synergy. Okay, the first quest I want to kind of walk into is showing off his utility, and this is something I use constantly in Alliance War. Before they changed the nodes, where Thing was not a good defender on Path 9, Section 2. I forgot the nodes, but it made Thing sitting there constantly. Now, at the time, I ran Captain Marvel movie, Nick Fury, and Deadpool, but I only played Captain Marvel in Section 1, and then Deadpool in Section 2. I'd never used Nick Fury. And kind of the reason why is, recall that signature ability where you apply a bleed on, quote-unquote, all attacks. You can control Thing's rock stacks, to me, a lot better than Fury or Falcon. Falcon has a cooldown, and Fury can only get it on his either first or final attack. Now, whenever I kind of play the thing with Deadpool, I just ignore rock stacks. I just hit him. Now, of course, his attacks themselves suck because, okay, big special 2. Crit for 12k. Woo! I don't get a bleed. And that's it. And, of course, he's going passive. We love this new AI. But, yeah, let's mean like, okay, at 10 rock stacks, boom, down to 8. Go back up to 12. And I believe with the cooldown between where rock stacks go down and Deadpool's own attack, it gets adjusted twice per hit. Or, sorry, per combo. So, like I said, you don't have to really worry about, like, okay, am I going to lower it on this next hit? You're going to. And it's something very minor, but being that I just slow play Thing fights, this piece of utility is what I loved about him. It didn't do much, didn't do a lot of damage, but it had one good piece of utility, and I'm so glad I put Quake on this team. Yep, let's do the infamous Special 3, where every single Deadpool has this. Gold Pool, Plat Pool, Red Pool, and of course, X-Pool Dead Force. Now I'm curious if this new buff, if that will stay the same, but we will find out here shortly. Alright, let's do just a basic quest comparison where we show off kind of his damage itself. And of course we have to fight the regular Red Deadpool to show which one's superior. Now I don't think there's any specific nodes on this besides Extra Attack. This is the 6.4.1 Iceman chapter. Yep. The blade itself in the basic attacks only does like 152 per tick, so about 300 per second. Again, it's not much, and he's actually out healing that. But just the idea of his signature ability, I always saw as utility for the times where you need to apply a bleed on the opponent. And I can't recall the exact number, but I know he has one of the highest attacks in the mutant class. Like, his attack value itself is rather high. Let's see. And boom. Wow, that is glitching a lot. But anyway, his special 2 bleed ticks for about 2,300. And right after this, we will compare with Nick Fury on his second light. Or I guess his final light. Yep, just want to show off, just very basic. He doesn't hit super hard. And again, this is rank 3 with full damage masteries. So I'm hitting about 4,500 on medium, 2,800 on lights. And let's see how strong this bleed is on Special 3. Again, it should be the same as the Special 2. It just lasts longer. Yep, 1918. Or, that's stacked. 1793. Yeah. Still reasonable. Let's test Fury real quick just to see the difference between the two. And of course, I'm not running any points of deep wound, so that barely raises the bleed damage, but mainly makes the bleed last longer. Okay, mediums last 19. 1,000. Okay. So Fury, his big bleed on his light does 1,000 points damage per tick, while Deadpool does about 2,000. So it's twice as strong, but again, it's special versus basic combo attack. Okay, and the last thing I want to look at is the latest variant, Deadpool Palooza. There isn't really much of a buff for this version Deadpool. The bigger buff is for the red version Deadpool. All of the Deadpools besides the red one gain a regeneration passive up to 120% of their max health per scaling with their own power itself. So you have full power, you get 120% regen over time. This isn't a lot, but it helps keep your champs topped up, especially when myself, I was not using a lot of specials. I was blocking a lot more because I knew I could heal back all that damage. So I was able to make it to the boss doing whatever I wanted to at full health with this character. Again, doesn't much. It's pretty much his only other good piece of utility in the game that benefits him. Like there's no other no combos or any other champions that help this character itself currently. But we will see how this new buff turns out here in a few hours.